Hey, what's going on YouTube? Happy 4th of July. A possible upcoming Greenlight Dodge Charger video. I don't know for sure yet. But I did want to show you guys out on the hunt today a couple of things that I found. If you guys are interested in making one of these messy layouts, right now is a really good time to get to Hobby Lobby to get to the supplies. I got 2 pounds of lightweight hydrocal. This right here, $14 marked down to $3.50. This is perfect. It works. Look, I like the joint compound. I know I've talked about the joint compound because you can get it anywhere and it's cheap, but it doesn't work as well as the hydrocal. So if you can get the hydrocal for that cheap, you should definitely get it. Also, I found static grass, $13 marked down to $3.24. I've never used static grass on any of my layouts, but it just takes it to that next level. Now, I don't have a static grass applicator, but even without the applicator, it's still going to add a different layer of depth. Today, some of the cool stuff that I found 2 of these. These are going to add just a huge touch to the layout. Little woods edge trees. They only had 2 of these, $11 marked down to $2.74. There's 7 trees per package. So that'll get me a nice little wooded area. And then I found 2 of these little 3-packs. These aren't that big. Just 2.375 inches. But I did find one of these for $1.24. I'm going to go back. I hope I can find more of these at this price. So if you have any intentions of doing a layout, definitely check out your Hobby Lobby. Not to mention the houses and cabins, $1.50, marked down from $7. And structures, even if they are just paper, they will add a lot to your layout. Now I am going to take the cabin apart and reassemble it with glue. Might actually do that tomorrow, depending on how the day goes. But anyways, just throwing that out there for you guys. If you know, the layouts are great if you want to just photograph your cars, or if you want to make a little layout to display some of your cars. You can do a racetrack layout. You can do whatever you want. I mean, your limits are your imagination. Okay, let's get to some diecast. I was going to show the Greenlight Dodge Chargers, but I think I'm going to save that. One other thing I did find today at Hobby Lobby, it wasn't on the pegs, it was on the shelf at the bottom of the pegs, laying just like this, and I glanced at it, didn't think anything of it, went back up to the pegs, picking through. I grabbed that 392 SRT Dodge Charger, and then right before I walked away, I gave this one more look and realized that's a chase car. That's a green machine. And I know that these Ford GT green machines, there's no green base. They haven't been all that desirable. But personally, I love the subtlety of the green. I really like that, how it's, if you don't look carefully, you will miss it. So, all right. I don't know if I'm going to open that yet or not, but if I do, it will be on camera. So I was thinking about a Dodge Charger video, but I'm going to go a different direction. I don't know how many brands I have here. Let's see. I guess it's 5 brands. 5 diecast brands, 2 manufacturers. So we're going to start with Kyosho, and the automotive brand that we're going to look at first is Mazda. This is an RX-3. It's just an awesome casting. I love Kyosho. They've grown to be one of my favorite brands to collect. They can be fairly expensive, but they're so worth it. I mean, they are probably the best in detail and proportions and that kind of stuff. I would almost even put Kyosho ahead of TLV when it comes to, I think their wheels are better than TLV. I think they get the stances a little bit better, but the build quality is definitely better on the Tomica Limited Vintage. But here is, I don't know what year it is, but probably like a 73-ish. Doesn't say what year it is on the base. There's your Kyosho base. Just a gorgeous car. Lensed headlights. These wheels are really, really nice detail on these wheels. And then, of course, with Kyosho, transparent lens taillights as well. So that's your Mazda RX-3, the predecessor to the RX-7. Here's another RX-3, very similar to the Kyosho. Now, I know I've shown these on the channel, but if you're a new subscriber, or maybe you missed those videos, here is essentially the same car with a little bit of customization. So the first one was made by Kyosho. This one here is made by Aoshima, but it's still a ton of detail, as you can see. Lensed headlights and taillights on this one as well. Plus, on both cars, you have rubber tires with tread. Both are nice rolling cars. This one, the Kyosho, is a bone stock Mazda. It's got the OEM wheels. This has a lot of aftermarket stuff going on with it, like the fin or spoiler. You got the deep dish aftermarket wheels. You got the chin spoiler, massive fender flares. It's just a really cool looking little car. And they look really good next to each other. I like having this type of example for a stock and custom, like what Greenlight used to do. I think they are different years, but they're fairly close to the same year. They might be the same year, but I do think they're a year or two apart. So anyways, that is your Mazda RX-3. Another vintage Mazda. This is from Konami. Konami also has lensed headlights and taillights. This one, a little bit of issues with the tires just due to the age. This is a Mazda Familia rotary coupe. Awesome little car. And these Familias from Konami have gotten harder and harder and harder to find. So like Tomica Limited Vintage, these have suspension. They have a ton of detail, simulated wood steering wheel, rubber tires with tread, lensed headlights and tail lights, really nice rolling cars. Don't know the year, but Mazda Familia rotary coupe. These are all 1/64 scale castings. So from the rotary coupe, we would go into this, which would be a first generation Mazda RX-7 Savannah. This is also made by Konami, same brand that made the Familia coupe that we just looked at. And like the Familia, this one also has prototypical wheels, rubber tires. It also does have the sprung suspension. Also a very nice rolling car, very detailed interior. Lens headlights and tail lights. I wish the stance on this was a little bit lower, but it's still a fantastic car. I guess there are no lens headlights. So that's your Mazda RX-7 first generation. And staying with that same brand, Konami, this one here is a Mazda Unis NA6 Roadster, also known as the Mazda Miata. This is a 89, or I think it's an 88 or an 89. But Konami did a run of cars, and it was called Cars of the 80s. In it, there's a Honda Civic hatchback. You have this. There's a nice, I think it's a C210 Skyline. There's a 83 Honda Prelude. All of these are cars that I have. The cars of the 80s seem to be harder to find than all the other Konami stuff, like the real vintage stuff, like the old Toyotas and the Hinos and those cars. I don't know if they just made less of them or what the deal is, but they just seem like they're harder to find. Now this one doesn't have lens headlights, but it does have lensed marker lights up in the front. Obviously the headlights are down. It has lensed tail lights. OEM prototypical wheels with rubber tires and tread. It is a soft top convertible with the top up, and probably the most detailed 1/64 scale Mazda Miata I've ever seen. I know that there are probably others out there that are more detailed. I think Oversteer did one, and I'm pretty sure Kyosho did one. Going back to Kyosho, this is a second generation Mazda RX-7. I absolutely love this casting. One of my favorite Kyosho cars in my entire collection. For many reasons. It's the right color. It's a nice roller. I love the wheels on this. I just love the car. I think it was a great design from Mazda. Lens headlights again, same deal as the Roadster. Side view mirrors, lens tail lights as well. Got a little bit of a dual exhaust. Yeah, I love this car. Not a bad angle. And to complete the lineage of the Mazda brand, the brand of rotary, I have this one here, which I really wish was a different color. Although it looks so good in this color, it just makes videos very tough. I don't know what year this is, but it is a Kyosho, and it's a Mazda RX-8. And it is a beautiful little casting. So just like all the others, it has prototypical wheels, rubber tires with tread, transparent lens headlights and taillights. It's a very accurate replica. I love the wheels on this car. The stance is perfect. It really couldn't be better. Every angle of this, any angle you look at it from, it just looks fantastic. It's a really nice rolling car. I just love this car. This car I didn't like much when they first came out because that little suicide door was just kind of funky, and it was just kind of funky looking. But this is a car that has really grown on me over the years. Like when I see these now, I just have a different appreciation for them. Very, very cool little cars. So that concludes the Mazda portion. Now for the next brand, also starting with an M, I don't have nearly as many to look at. But I do have a few premium detailed, and we'll start with this Norev Mercedes-Benz SLK. Now, on this car, I think the casting is great. It's a great color. It has nice wheels on it. The wheels and tires, the way that they set in the wheel well, there's something about it that's a little off. I don't know if it's the placement of the axle or if it's just that the wheels are too small. I don't know exactly what it is, but something is off. But it's a very, very nice car. I mean, the front end on this thing looks killer. The Mercedes grille, the lensed headlights. Surprisingly, this one has plastic tires. But this car was very cheap compared to... I only paid like $2 or $3 for it. Detailed taillights that just, it leaves a lot to be desired on the back end. But, for the $3 that I paid, I think it's a heck of a buy. And a cool thing about it, unlike a lot of convertibles, the side view mirrors are part of the mold, as is the windshield. So you can put a ton of weight on this thing, and it does not go anywhere. It doesn't move at all. So I think that's pretty cool. But anyways, SLK Mercedes from Norev. This is a... I don't know. I like this car a lot. I don't know what the proper name is of this car, but I know it is a gull wing. And I love this car. I don't know how many of these are out there in 1:64 scale. I don't think there are too many brands that tackled this one. Now, this is made by UCC, which is a coffee company out of Japan, and they do a lot of detail on their cars, but they also keep them real simple. So, for example, they don't have interiors, but it doesn't matter because you can't see the inside of the car. But all of their cars have transparent lens headlights and a ton of detail. As you can see, the grille, all of it is very highly detailed. I think this might be based off of an actual race car. I'd have to double check that, but very, very, very awesome detail. Highly detailed tail lights. So I'd have to check to see if any other brands did this car. Kyosho maybe. I know Kyosho did do a Mercedes run, which we're going to look at now. So we'll start with this. It's a Kyosho. It's 1:64 scale. And it is a C-Class AMG. Awesome car. I do love Kyosho. Prototypical wheels here, side view mirrors. Probably the best Mercedes front end of any car that I've seen in 1-64. Actually, I take that back. We will give that honor to the next car. Transparent lens tail lights with reverse lights and indicators, dual exhaust. Just a great looking car. And, you know, Kyosho cars display so nice. This is my favorite 1-64 scale Mercedes-Benz that's ever been produced. It is, well, it's a G-Class. Here you go. Mercedes-Benz G55 AMG. Known commonly as the G-Wagon. Now this has been taken on by Maisto, Majorette. Matchbox has a little bit older version of it. As far as like premium quality stuff goes, there's nothing like the Kyosho. There's that front end I was talking about. Incredible. I got so lucky when I bought this. I scored this one and the pearl white one for like $28 shipped, and that was maybe a year ago. And right now I don't think you can get one of these for under 40. So it's one of those cars that climbed. Ton of detail though. It's so easy to see why. I wish I had kept the white one, but it went to a good home. But I wish I had purchased more back then before the price got all crazy. It's just a sick Mercedes. And it's a beast, man. You can take this thing off-road, no problem. I really would at some point soon, at least before I put all of these cars away, all of these Greenlight Dodge Chargers, I really would like to get a video in on those, because there are some nice ones in there, and they're definitely worth taking a look at. And there's that, which has a whole other story to it. But just to recap, C-Class, G-Class, SLK, Gullwing, Kyosho, Norev, and UCC. And then over here we have this gorgeous Aoshima Mazda RX-3. That car will never leave my collection. Got very close to trading it at one point, and the trade just never happened. I'm thankful that it didn't. And then we got the Familia, RX-8, RX-7, Miata, RX-7. It is kind of crazy to me how nice Kyosho does, how nice of a job they do. look at this Aoshima. Really cool thing about these Aoshimas, they sit really low to the ground, but they roll really nice. Most of them. There are some of these that you'll get that don't roll. But I have this one, and I have the Carina. The Carina rolls really nice. And then I have the Toyota Soarer. But the Soarer that I have is a stock car. It's not lowered and custom like this one. So anyways, thanks for checking it out, everybody. Have a great 4th of July. Be safe. Respect your neighbors when it starts getting late, before you start setting off firecrackers at 2 o'clock in the morning. And I will holler at you out the next video.